Prison of the Cork No. 1 Brigade, Knockraha was a strongly Republican area and was designated a quiet zone by the IRA leadership because it was heavily secured and contained hidden underground grenade-making factories. The Cork No. 1 Brigade chose this remote graveyard to serve as their official top-secret detention center starting in mid-1920. The prison itself was tiny, measuring roughly 16 feet long, 8 feet wide, and only 6 feet high. It had a heavy steel door, a cobbled floor, and water constantly dripping from the stone ceiling. Prisoners were brought there under the absolute cover of darkness, completely blindfolded so they would have no idea where they were. Who was kept there? The crypt held a variety of prisoners captured by the IRA, including British soldiers, notably from the Cameron Highlanders, regiment stationed in Cork, Black and Tans and auxiliaries captured during ambushes or intelligence operations, British intelligence officers. The British military began sending out agents disguised as tramps and travelers to gather info. Several were caught by IRA intelligence and sent straight to the crypt. Spies and informers, local civilians suspected of passing information to the Crown forces. The Republican courts and trials. Sing Sing wasn't just a holding cell, it was a functioning wing of the underground Republican legal system. The Sinn Féin movement had established its own style courts to bypass British rule. For military prisoners and suspected spies held at Knockraha, formal Republican military courts martial were held nearby, often in the old-school house in Knockraha. The trials were run strictly by the high-ranking brigade officers, with Ned Moloney appointed as the official governor of the prison. The grim reality, the RIA, the fate of those held in Sing Sing, depended heavily on their status. Regular British soldiers were sometimes held as bargaining chips or later released unharmed under the cover of night. However, for identified Black and Tans, intelligence officers, or confirmed informers, the outcome of the trial was often execution. Those condemned to death were taken from the crypt at night to a nearby heavily wooded boggy area known as Shanbaliria, the Ria. They were executed by firing squad and buried secretly in the bogs to ensure the British military could never find the bodies or use the location for reprisals. Because of this, many of those who entered the crypt simply became part of Ireland's disappeared. The prison remained operational right up until the truce was declared on July 11.